Yeet, skirt, yeet. You never loved me, Mom, but I needed you. Whoa. Happy Halloween.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yeet, 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 yeet. We are the essence of hip hop.
We are.
Mm-hmm. That's what I.
This is gonna get us 3 billion.
3 billion. We
Billion.
hope so, because we've got like 3 right now. So we just need a billion.
We're
more.
working on.
Oh wait, two. I can't do math.
900 million, 999 million, 999.
We're almost there.
100,000.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
So I actually think that could be our next costume. Even like with this, like I think we could be Dumb and Dumber.
We could totally be Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I think next year. Also, this is supposed to be a podcast, and now we are fully in costume. So like, if people are listening to this,
and you couldn't tell from our intro. You couldn't tell. You didn't know.
You didn't know. You should probably know that we are dressed up in full costume.
Full costume. Yeah.
I'm Pete Davidson.
Timothy Chalamet here. And we are obviously their most famous skit.
We are doing a very offensive bit on hip hop music.
Yep.
So that's us.
That's us.
Uh-huh.
Is it offensive that I'm literally double the size of Timothy Chalamet?
Maybe to him. I don't know if it is to you.
Dang.
Yeah. But you look great.
Thanks, you do too.
Yeah, I was doing really well with these white sneakers.
Yeah, I should take my white sneakers
off. I'm not going to be wearing them because we're indoors.
Let's do this.
And I don't wear shoes when I'm indoors.
No.
I just don't want to. This is like my natural.
Get up here with you.
Okay, great. I'm so glad. Crisscross applesauce. All right. So we're here today. I've gathered you here today. What's your name again?
My name?
Yeah, who are you?
I'm Timothy Chalamet.
I'm sorry, Timothy. I gathered you here today.
Although I assume he has a different name in the skit. I didn't research it well enough before I dressed up like him.
Yeah, I mean, if we were to go to a costume party today, we would have to say that we're Pete Davidson and Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
and I have no idea like who
from that one sketch.
Look
it up. We'll put like a link or something to the TikTok. I don't know.
I feel like there's probably going to be a few links here because we've got a few things to talk about. So the first thing to talk about is how are you doing?
I'm amazing.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. Sorry, I just ate food and drink, and so now I'm woo. All right. But I'm doing good.
You're doing good?
Yes.
Good.
How about you?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there.
Good.
This time of year is always weird. It's transitional. But this time last year, I did a PowerPoint presentation on werewolves. So I've done no additional research.
There's been no updates.
No updates whatsoever. So, but for background, I am a part of this horror movie group. We decided to do the movie The Cursed. I think it's called 8 for Silver. We'll find out because I've got the PowerPoint, which we'll also put in a link.
You need that.
I have no clue if I could do this on our new screen thing. It doesn't look like it. So you can't like share the screen the same way you can with Zoom.
Oh, right there.
Can you?
Oh my god, there's scripts!
You could do a script. Oh, I can share my screen. Okay. I just have to figure out how I can. I think I might need to do it in different.
Sorry. No, I was just pressing some buttons.
Yeah, I think we can figure this out. So I'm a part of a horror movie group. You know about this. We actually started last year, and I'm a big fan of doing PowerPoints if it wasn't abundantly clear at this point.
Same.
So I think one of my favorite PowerPoints that I've sent to you is called "How to Make Millions Off of AI OnlyFans Foot Fetish."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that was a good one.
That was not a bad one.
Yeah.
I still haven't made millions. So
we haven't executed the PowerPoint.
Well, we've got some time. We've got some time ahead of us. But we will get there first, however. So my horror movie group just met for our annual meeting out in Washington. Yeah, we did
the state of
Washington. We know each other from different parts of the country. We have someone from Toronto. We have someone from LA. We have several people from Albuquerque. We have several people from Colorado, all over the country.
How'd you guys meet?
Through a mutual friend.
Okay.
Essentially. And then we all decided to meet together and do this weekly, and now monthly, horror movie talk. So that's how we started. So my horror movie that I chose was called The Curse, and it is about werewolves. And so I am about to see if I can share my screen, but I think I have to first put this up. And now this is where we're gonna learn my editing skills.
Figure it out.
Because I think I have to create a new screen, and I don't know how to do that, so it's gonna take me a minute. But I will pull this up for you. In the meantime, I will tell you about my trip to Washington.
Yes.
So we went out there, all from different areas, to this very beautiful Airbnb out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you've been to Washington, you know Washington.
Oh yeah, I was born there.
Oh, I did not know this.
Pullman, Washington.
Well, I didn't know. This was Monroe, Washington, which is just outside of Seattle, not very far from there.
Oh, okay.
So we went there, and the first thing that we noticed, and this is, I'll get to the point. So the Airbnb hosts had been great online up until then, but we get in and there's a thank you note, and the thank you note says, "Thank you for staying with us. Hope you have a nice slay." SLAY. Not stay. They had forgotten to. Yeah. So now that's my favorite saying. Have a nice day.
Oh, you want to hear what my new favorite phrase is?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Completely unrelated, though.
Perfect.
I went to Walgreens the other day and I bought some Gushers and a Red Bull, and the cashier was like, "Do you want a receipt?" And I was like, "No, thank you." And he looked at me and he said, "Happy capitalism." And I was like,
I love that.
Thanks, cashier, for capitalism? I don't know. I did not feel guilty about my Gushers purchase, though. That's for sure.
You should not feel guilty about that, because Gushers are amazing and they remind me of my childhood.
Ugh,
and I wish I had some right now. Honestly.
So good.
Yeah. Fruit. I was going to say Fruit by the Loom. That's the wrong
one. Fruit by the Loom is also delicious. If you season it properly.
Oh. But Fruit by the Foot was the one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So, before we get into this, I did do one piece of research. One little research.
A single research.
One single research, which was to look for werewolf erotica. For funsies.
I love this.
So I think I'm going to have to do this from my phone. So this, again, we're going to have to go into some editing mode for a minute, because I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to try. I think, am I in the right place? Yeah. Oh yeah, I am in the right place. I'm such a juvenile when it comes to like erotica. It's so silly.
I giggle at the stupid Member. The other day I laughed at Member.
It is funny. That is a funny word. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm going to start from the dialogue, which is where you generally start.
Not with sex. That's the last place.
Yeah, no. Oh no, we got to start from here. The moonlight coming through the window shone on half of his face. His nostrils flared again as he opened his mouth and inhaled a deep breath. I can smell how bad you want me.
Ew.
Oh, gross.
And he's like saying that while he's like this.
Yeah. Oh god.
I can smell you.
Oh my god.
Hey, it said his mouth was open and he took a big breath. That's what I would do.
His nostrils flared. I can't even do it. He tilted his head in a way I'd never seen him do before, his gaze dropping to my chest.
Take it off.
No! Not hesitating. I unzipped it. I'm not sure what that is. I didn't. I did. This
It's
is
a straight
literally
jacket?
the only thing. Probably.
It's a straight
Let's go with
jacket.
a straight jacket.
Or it's maybe
Are
like a
there
nice
zippers?
coat.
Straight jacket?
No,
No,
that
I'm
would
gonna
be so
say.
much. That'd be too easy to get out of.
Yeah. No. What is on the straight jacket then? Is it buttons?
It's those class. Okay, don't ask me how I know this,
I won't.
but it's those like those like belt loop things that
Yeah.
you put the.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
what
yeah.
is this
Yeah.
called?
That. Whatever that is. I know what you're talking about though.
Not
It's
rope, not flap. What is this?
I'm not sure.
Attachments.
The attachments.
I don't know. Whatever.
Anyway.
You loop it and then you tighten it.
Oh, yes. I think
Like
I've
a
seen
belt.
This, I've seen this in the movies.
That's how I know.
Probably like
That's exactly how I
Clockwork
know.
Orange or something. No, not that one. What's the other one?
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest. It's a good one. All right. So he took taking off now. Not hesitating, I unzipped it on the side, then let it slide off my shoulders and pool on the floor. Those golden eyes watched everything. Golden.
Oh, beautiful.
So everything devoured me with a primal stare. Your bra. His voice. God, it was so fucking deep and rough. I could feel. This is my favorite part. I could feel it scrape against my exposed skin.
His voice?
His voice.
His voice scrape against. Ew.
I know, right?
I heard like chalkboard noises right now.
I hate it.
Ugh.
I hate it so much. Brushing hard. So hard I wobbled at the intensity. He was too much, too hot, too hard, too rough, too hypnotic, too everything apparently. So he obeyed, and then oh yeah, this is also great. Obeying quickly, I undid the clasp behind me and let it fall. My nipples hardened. Sorry.
Clasp. It's a clasp.
Oh yeah, so you're right. It was a straitjacket.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is. To tight points beneath his feral gaze.
Oh my
So
god.
Trembling, I went to push off my panties, but he shook his head. No, another long stroke of his cock.
Long stroke of his cock.
Leave those on. Then he was coming for me. And we can leave it there. I think that's enough. You guys get the point. I hope you're nice and horny.
I hope you're as hot as I am.
Which you can totally tell by the way that I've reacted.
So turned on.
Yeah. So werewolf erotica is clearly a thing. I figured,
Yep.
We started with doing erotica as a joke. I feel like we could probably find erotica for every topic.
everything.
For every topic that we come up with. So this is just going to be my newest thing, is to try and find the erotica
for whatever
to
topic.
whatever topic it is.
That's genius.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So it sounds like I'm going to have to do an episode on furries because we have been sent a
Clearly.
recommendation from one of our listeners.
Oh, we have?
Yes.
I love this.
One of our 3 listeners.
Billion.
3 billion.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't even know what that noise was. Okay, but anyways, our listener was like, hey, you should read this book. And basically it's about furries who play football and fall in love.
Oh my god, I love it already.
I know.
Yeah, we got to do that one. When spooky season is done.
It's
with,
over.
because
Because that's
got-
not spooky enough.
Yeah, I mean, I feel we've got one more in us. I feel like it should probably be about witchcraft, although we'll see.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
We'll
We'll figure it out. But there's a lot of like online communities that I really love, and so I was hoping to find this online werewolf community.
I can't believe I can't believe that.
I know, me too.
Especially after hearing about this vampire one.
Oh, I loved the vampire one.
I know, I was a big fan.
I
Even
still
though
haven't-
there's that weird gatekeeper guy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Steve.
Steve! Fuck you, Steve!
Anyway, so all right, okay, so getting into it. We watched the movie called The Cursed. It is about vampires. God damn it.
Werewolves. It's
That's
okay.
the
I didn't
one.
catch it. At first I was like, why'd she stop talking? But then I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, it's not about vampires at all. It was about werewolves. So there's been a long history of werewolves, and so with everything supernatural, I think people are trying to explain what's going on in the world around them, and they see things that are scary, like people biting each other. They turn it into vampires, or impaling each other.
Or that one guy in Florida who was on bath salts and ate a homeless man's face.
That was pretty scary.
I thought that was the zombie apocalypse.
I did too, actually. Yeah. I mean, I started like doomsday prepping.
I was prepared.
Yeah, me too.
I was ready.
Yeah. Probably not very well. Like
not that ready.
My big plan, if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, is just to make sure I have a loaded gun.
I don't even have that plan. My plan is to get to water, and then I haven't even thought past that.
Yeah. Well, no, I love that one. That used to be mine. Like I always had this idea that if you get past the water, they can't swim to you, and so an island is the best place to be in because
until we watched Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
And then they can just like walk underwater. Yeah, I know, it's kind of stupid.
Well, and then there's ghost ships, so
I
can't even get there without ghosts attacking you.
I know. Jesus. But I was thinking water in terms of like drinkable water. So like I would go to like a city water place, and then I would defend it with my life.
Oh, I love
so that I'd have plenty of water to drink,
and you'd be like, happy going down some water.
Queen of the water. Queen of the water in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So the first werewolves that I could find came from Egypt, of all places. Of course,
I feel like Egypt kind of
starts
everything.
Yeah, it does. And I'm gonna butcher who this was, but it had to do with Gilgamesh. So don't remember the name. It was a she. It always starts with the women.
Yes.
Always women's faults. And we'll get into that later as well. But she turns someone into a wolf. Gilgamesh hears about this and he gets real pissed. And he basically fucking ghosts her. And so that's the end of the story. That's the first ghosting.
It's the first ghosting and werewolfing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa, what would a werewolfing be?
I don't even know.
Oh, we'll come up with something for that.
A werewolfing is when you start like screaming and you turn the table over and rip your clothes off.
Well, that's true.
So like
I did watch in preparation for this an American Werewolf in London.
Oh,
that did happen in there. So it's a thing.
That's it.
I never watched it before. I'm not a big werewolf person. The Cursed, like I said, was like the first movie that I really got into with werewolves. So anyway, going back, Egypt happened. The woman, whoever she was, got ghosted for turning someone into a wolf, as one does.
As you probably should do if someone does that.
Someone else into a werewolf, I think that you have a right
to be like, I'm not talking to you anymore.
As your lawyer,
yeah,
I advise you to ghost that person.
I'm not going to hieroglyph you anymore.
No. That's exactly right. No hieroglyphing.
No more hieroglyphing.
No, it's like God, that ghosting would have been so much different. It would be like chisel, chisel, chisel.
Just, like looking at them in the face, like
I'm out.
And that's like a middle finger.
Perfect.
Like thousands of years later, they're like, what could this mean? And it's basically just Kimberly breaking up with Mark.
Perfect.
She's like, screw you. I knew you cheated with Angela.
Like wolf turned into ghost.
Peace out.
Peace out. So yeah, and then there's different. So I know in China they have their own version of like werewolves. Like it's it's everything. You can watch the History Channel and find out all about that shit. We're gonna go into the Middle Ages, and we're gonna take a little history lesson into 18th century France. That's where we're going. That's where we're headed. In the 1500s slash 1600s, you know about the witch trials. Everyone knows about the witch trials. People hated women. We talked about this.
Yep.
But the thing is, and I've thought about this a lot as I've been thinking about werewolves, you don't hear a lot about many women werewolves. It's usually the men.
Huh. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So women witches, men werewolves.
Yeah.
Which I think like a woman werewolf would be much more terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you get
a werewoman.
A werewoman. Yeah. Terrifying. So so during the witch trials, there was a lot of this idea that people were demonic in different ways. Either you were a witch, or you were a wizard, or you were a werewolf. And same types of tactics that were used to determine if you were a witch were used to determine if you were a werewolf. And a lot of it ended with being burned at the stake / getting decapitated. That's what happened.
It was just a way of life.
It was a way of life. And I think that this is important because one of the things that is just a constant theme throughout history is the fucking Catholic Church.
Boo!
I know.
Hiss.
We hate them. We hate them.
I'm allowed to do that because I was baptized Catholic before the age of consent. Against my will.
Yeah, you are allowed to do that. I will do it because I want to.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you.
My dad was Catholic. I guess that counts for something,
counts.
Right?
Yeah.
So in any case, the Catholic Church tries to scare the living shit out of everybody by claiming that there are people, usually the people who are anti the church, right? Like they hate the church, so therefore they are demons and you should hate them.
Yep.
And we'll burn them at the stake. And that's where the first idea of werewolves came from. So then fast forward past the Middle Ages, past the time where Henry VIII came around and like reformed shit into something worse than it already was.
Yeah. Thank you for divorce.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I mean, I am grateful personally.
I mean, just for that part, I guess. I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, the whole killing a bunch of your wives stuff.
Yeah, that part was kind of lame.
Shitty. And also Puritanism that came after that.
Yeah, that was gross too.
Kind of sucked. But in any case, Catholic Church has always used this tactic of scaring the ever-living shit out of people in order to get people to comply, right? Like, this has been a theme throughout, and I shouldn't, like, limit it to
the Catholic Church. Honestly, that's just how religion functions.
Exactly.
Scare people into being good. Hey, if you're not good, you're gonna burn in hell. What do you mean your hair isn't naturally like that?
I can't.
Mine's like stuck on pretty good.
Yours actually looks very natural. I feel like I look like
natural for like a weird anime. Like, I don't know what this is.
I like it though. All right. So they started out by scaring the shit out of people by making people believe that there were werewolves and then just defeating their enemies that way. Then, like later down the road, when everyone is somewhat compliant, comes the French Revolution. And that's where I think I can start going into... How do I share things? Share my screen.
Ooh,
yeah. I think we got
this. Look at this.
Let's see if we got this.
Oh
shit.
Isn't it working?
I think so.
I don't know. How do we see our faces at the same time? Can we?
Have no idea. I think this little like blue box right here. So everybody who's listening is gonna know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's a stop sharing tab right here.
Oh, look at that.
So I think everyone can see this. I hope.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It probably doesn't matter.
Oh my god, is that a tiny little werewolf? Oh my god, I can't wait for this. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
This is great. So this is the story of the Cursed. It starts in France, of all places, where most things start. So there's a region in France called Gevaudan, which I practice at least like 20 times a day. So that little area is this like little area in red down here.
Okay.
Called Gevaudan, and for reference, Paris is this tiny little star up here. And this little area that I circled is the most importantly named region in France. Can you guess what that is?
I guess it's Champagne. Is it Champagne?
It's not.
Oh, what is it?
It's Brittany.
Oh, dang it! It makes more sense. Why would it be Champagne?
Champagne is very important.
I mean, Champagne's good, but there's also a Bordeaux. There's like all these other places I could have picked. I'm like, that's where Champagne is.
Actually, I think Champagne is pretty close to Brittany, but it doesn't matter. In any case, so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at France. Gevaudan is like over here. Algeria, for reference, is on the other side, like closer. So that's important because a lot of fear came from the other. A lot of
the Northern Africans
and Romani people, and we'll get into that in a minute. So this is La Bête de Gevaudan, who's the Beast of Gevaudan.
Well, he's adorable.
Isn't he cute?
Oh my god, so cute. Feet. Look at his little, he looks like he's like smiling.
Yeah, he kind of is.
I like that.
Yeah. So so the Beast of Gevaudan is a real actual thing that happened in history. So he was the real, I guess if you want to call it that, werewolf. Like something that was actually documented that people believed was an actual werewolf. He would rip. I don't know why I'm saying he. I am misgendering.
Because obviously, no. We can assume that if violence rules its life, it is male.
This is true.
I feel pretty confident about that.
This is true. This guy, this motherfucker.
If he woke up and chose violence, man.
He's a man.
Man.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's a pretty safe bet that this guy was.
Well, look at him.
He looks like a guy. He's just a guy.
He looks like a bro, just hanging with his like
weird ass
skinny hips.
Yeah. So, and I'm not sure where this was an actual like image of what the Beast of Gevaudan was. So what I guess was actually documented was that there was a bunch of killings that were happening in this region of France. And he would go out and like rip out the throats of his victims. So these like victims were found with their throats ripped out, right? And he would decapitate some of them as well.
So he's not looking for yum-yums.
No. He's
just looking for violence.
Right. Yeah, he's a violent man, violent beast. And so the idea is that nobody actually knows what this thing was, and there's so many great theories that I'm going to get into. So the history around this guy, the Beast of Gevaudan. The 7-Year War had just ended, which was the war between France. We remember when we talked about this with the cocaine sharks? So
yeah,
I was just a few hundred years too early when we were talking about that.
Cocaine sharks takes me back.
Yeah, I know. So long ago. We were young and innocent.
When we were young, we didn't know what we were doing. Oh wait, we still don't know when we're old.
So I've been old this whole time.
We faked the young thing.
Yeah. You all thought. You three
of you who know us in person and talk to us on a regular basis.
You definitely thought we were younger than we actually
definitely
are. Yeah, absolutely. So
gotcha.
So the 7 Years War had just ended. France was fucking defeated to the ground. They were humiliated. A lot of this has to do with a lot of humiliation, and I'm here for it. I think
it's very French.
It's very French. They're
very on brand for them.
Very embarrassed.
Embarrassment. Wait, that's Italian, isn't it? No, I guess it could be French. Like French.
Chef's kiss?
Yeah. Yes, it could be French, like the cordon bleu.
Sure, why not?
Cordon bleu.
Cordon bleu. I hate French. All right.
Moving on.
So France was licking its wounds at this time. The Treaty of Paris had just come out. And so basically that gave a bunch of land over to England, our favorites, the colonizers of the world. And so at this time, newspapers were just coming out, like they were just becoming a thing. This is like the 1750s or so. So the spread of media like also played a big part in this myth of the Beast of Gevaudan, because the newspapers were able to gather facts a lot quicker and pass
stories regularly.
Yeah. And so it's like basically the original National Enquirer.
Ooh.
Enquirer. Yeah. So that's kind of where this started. So like that boy,
yeah,
straight roots from Beast of Gevaudan. Yeah.
Now we know.
Now you know. So when England found out that France was like facing this really embarrassing moment where this beast was killing all of its women and children, which is so embarrassing.
So embarrassing. So embarrassing that you can't keep your like women and children not beheaded. So stupid.
So they created all. So King Louis the 16th, I believe it was.
One of those numbers.
Yeah, the 15th. I'm sorry. So
that changes my opinion of the story. So changes everything.
Right. So I'm sorry. I am not a history buff. 15, 16 is all the same. So King Louis the 15th was especially embarrassed. Oh my God, so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
So he teams up with the Catholic Church, and they come up with a way of like capitalizing on this, essentially, as all rulers and leaders of the world do.
Sounds on brand for everyone involved.
Yeah. So the Catholic Church, on the one hand, was trying to like stymie the Enlightenment period, which was just happening. The Renaissance was about to happen, and they're like, "Fuck that shit! Like, we can't have people be smart." No,
gross.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna blame the women.
Right.
Plan A.
Makes sense.
And we are going to get people back to the Catholic Church by telling them that the only reason that this beast exists is because they're falling away from the church.
That sounds very familiar.
Mainly the horse.
That sounds
mainly the horse.
Very familiar. Like all of the hurricanes we've had because of the gays.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hurricane Gay.
Hurricane Gay.
Heard of this one.
We've just been punished for all these gays for so long.
And 9/11.
And 9/11, oh
that
my
was
God.
The lesbians, though.
That was the lesbians?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was because of the woke liberals.
Oh. Were there woke liberals back in the day?
I feel like, yeah, since Woodstock, that's when wokeism
that's probably
began.
True. That's probably true.
That's
but we
my
didn't have
guess.
that word. And
true.
I thought it was Jerry Falwell who said it was like the lesbians, witchcraft, AIDS.
Yeah.
Something.
Sounds right.
Yeah, which checks out.
Yeah.
22 years later after he's dead. Thank fucking God. Sorry. All right, so King Louis the 15th, getting back to the story, which is what matters here. King Louis the 15th is like, we got to cut this shit out. So he hires some hunters, and he gets the most famous hunters of France to try and track down this beast and kill it. There's a few people along the way who are also killing what could be the Beast of Gevaudan. My favorite is Marie-Jeanne Vallée, who is the maid of Gevaudan. She makes her most famous appearance in Teen Wolf.
Oh,
as you probably know.
I knew that because I watch that show every day.
Of course. But she's an actual person. So it
was like a real reference, like a smart little reference for the show.
You know, I've always said that show was
beyond its years. Beyond its years.
Completely.
Yep.
So the maid of Gevaudan she's out by the river as you do, and she has a spear as you do, and she runs across this beast, and the beast like goes to rear up, and she takes the spear and she impales it. The beast like goes to try and stop the wound or whatever, which we'll get into in a minute as well. And she just fucking rams it and kills the thing, and doesn't get killed along the way. So I think she's probably the heroine of our story. There's a lot of like, hunters who have their teams of guys and they think that they're super cool, and
they don't got it.
But they don't got it. So so out of the guys who get commissioned, because of course capitalism is not a thing in France yet, but the King of France doesn't know this. So he sends out his guys and pays a bunch of money to have these hunters go out, chase the beast, and they get a reward. So one guy, Francois Antoine, he killed the beast on September 20th of 1765, but the beast that he brought in, because he had to bring in the beast to Paris, which is like a big ordeal, bringing it in on a little stretcher. And for reference, I think that wolves can be up to like 5'7", I want to say, and about 120 pounds. That was the biggest wolf that they had found in France at the time. But this thing was only 130 pounds and 5'7". And then what happened was, after Francois Antoine brought this thing in, and the king is like, hooray, over. Well, the Beast of Gevaudan is gone. There's some more killings that happen again in the crops a few days later. So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Oh,
when
God.
you think you got the guy and you don't.
Oh man, I don't know how this guy lived with himself. And then so Jean Chastel is an interesting character. So he's the next guy who comes around and is chasing this Beast of Gevaudan. His whole thing is that, he's with his people. He brought, for whatever reason, and this is where the myth comes from, he brought his gun into the woods and his little hunters around him. He encounters the beast, and then he says that he does this little prayer. And the beast just like kind of sits around,
waits for him to
finish your prayer. Yeah, all right.
Let me know when you're done.
Cool. I'm just gonna chill.
I'm gonna chill while you finish your prayer.
And so he does that, and as soon as he's done, he goes and shoots the beast with the silver bullet. And that's where that myth
And the beast
came
was
from.
like, "Oh shoot! Yeah. I didn't expect that to work. Damn it! I should have fought back during the prayer.
In the middle of my monologue.
Missed opportunity.
Oh shoot! Next time. Yeah. So a silver bullet is extremely expensive, and I think that's like part of the reason why that became part of the myth. He's sanctioned by the crown, essentially. So the crown has a lot of money behind it. They think if they have the money and they've used the silver bullet, that it's going to kill the beast. That didn't work. So who knew?
Oh,
right?
no.
Yeah, no. But at the same time, after Jean Chastel came around and brought, this beast back to Paris, the killings went down. And, there's a few reasons that I think you can hypothesize about it. There's my favorite one, which I think I'll get into first, because there's a lot of speculation about what the beast actually was. So Jean Chastel has a nephew, and he is insane.
And also a furry. World's first furry. Oh my god, we should. Oh my god, knew it. Connection.
Yeah, I didn't even have to say anything. Completely correct. 1000% correct.
And it gets a little violent, and when he's choking them out during sex, he accidentally rips their throats out.
Kinda. Whoops. So, whoops, ouch. Oh, no, not again.
No.
Shoot. Dang it. Well, on to the next one. So, there's a few reasons why I think that the Beast of Gevaudan is an actual serial killer and not a beast. The first one is that this guy's nephew, I can't remember his name. I'm sure it's in this PowerPoint that I'm seeing off the top of my head.
Kevin.
Yeah, it was Kevin. That was
Kevin.
it. Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Mars.
Yeah, Kevin Mars.
Yeah. So Kevin Mars, was going out in the woods and being a fucking weirdo. He'd go out to the river. So he's the first, I guess, case that you would claim of clinical lycanthropy. And so remember we talked about last time clinical vampirism or Rinsfield's disorder, whatever it is. Yeah, that one. So this is the opposite of that. I mean, it's the same side of the coin, but for werewolves.
Yeah.
This is where you believe that you are a wolf. And, people apparently have that today. We can debate whether it's furries. I feel like we're doing a very good,
like working into furries.
Working into furries.
After spooky season. Don't get too excited, everybody.
We've got some time ahead of us because Halloween is upon us.
Okay, so
clinical lycanthropy is the belief that you are a wolf. Lycanthropy. And lycanthropy is actually the long-term term for werewolves.
Right, because I think I've heard them referred to as lichen and lycanthropes.
Exactly. So this guy had clinical lycanthropy. He thought that he was a wolf. He also had, I'm forgetting the name of, and it's probably in here somewhere. Hang on one sec. It begins with it's try something. Give me one sec. Oh, hypertrichosis, which is called werewolf syndrome. And that's where you develop hair in weird parts of your body.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had both of these. This guy's fucking weirdo, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe one led to the other. Maybe because he had the hair,
trichosis.
Yeah. Which seems more scientific, to be honest.
Yeah.
Than the other one, which is just believing you're a werewolf or a wolf.
Right.
Like, I mean, what I thought of immediately when you're like, oh, he thinks he's a wolf, I thought of Step Brothers, where the guy wanted to grow up to be a T-Rex.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's crazy. Sure. You can't grow up to be a T-Rex.
Well, and I think that, these days we would call it something like schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Some other kind of like psychotic.
Hallucinatory, like, I don't know, something.
But yeah, it definitely has different terms.
But this is specifically believing you are a wolf.
You are a wolf. Right.
Okay.
So that's my favorite theory, is that this guy, Chastel's nephew, was a serial killer and was literally going out and he was trying to cover up for his nephew while also, giving some monies over to the Catholic Church in order to... so this is what I think. I think it was a conspiracy between the Catholic Church, King Louis XV, and Jean Chastel, and they all came together and created this perfect triad to say that this guy's nephew, Jean Chastel comes up to the king and he comes up to the Pope and he's like, dudes,
my guys, I got him.
Here's the deal. I think I know who your Beast of Gevaudan is. It's my fucking nephew. It's super embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
We're all embarrassed here. You're embarrassed.
You're embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed. So
let's just move on.
We're just
the embarrassment.
Yeah. We'll just cover this up with a little bit of sand, and I'll give my nephew a little talking to, and we'll be done with this. And so they all get on board, and ultimately the killing stopped after that. So one of the other things of why I believe it's a serial killer and not anything else, and then I'll get to the other theories, is that the beast, or the victims, I should say, the victims where they were laid to rest or whatever, they were mostly naked. So whatever was taking them was taking off their clothes.
Not ripping them off and like shredding them off and stuff.
No, because they weren't finding shredded clothes around.
Yeah.
What they were finding, this is the most interesting part to me, is folded clothes nearby, like neatly folded. Like
that is interesting.
Isn't that?
Yeah,
So,
that doesn't sound like something an animal would do.
exactly.
It's kind of against like animal behavior to rip out throats and leave behind like corpses and not like decimated in some other way.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So that's why I believe that theory, and I choose.
I like that theory.
Yeah. So, but there's other like cool theories as well. The other theory that I'm on board with that I would have as an alternative is that the circus was just beginning. I bet you didn't see that coming.
I didn't. I was like, aliens for sure. And it's like, no, the circus. I was like,
we haven't got the aliens yet. It probably could be aliens.
Probably could be aliens.
Could be aliens.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why that's not a theory. It's probably like
an theory for everything.
It should be for the Beast of Gevaudan. I think that would be a really good theory.
Yeah, the ripping out the throats. It's so specific.
It makes a lot of sense.
Folding the clothing.
Yeah. Why else would they do that?
Like taking the clothes off and folding them. Yeah.
I've always thought that aliens have to have a little bit of OCD.
Yeah. Definitely. That's too organized.
Right. Exactly. So I think that makes sense. That only makes sense. But okay. So, but getting back to the circus theory. So as
I almost called it Barnes and Noble, but that's a book thing. That's Simon and Garfunkel. No, that's wrong too.
Oh shoot, Books and Done.
No, that's a country shit.
Blockbuster.
No, pick blue blue. Barnum and Bailey's.
We did it together.
All it took was making some random noises. And then we got it. All right,
this is how both of our brains work. So together we are a force.
We are one brain.
We are. So the circus started around this time. It was actually started by the Romani people.
Oh, that makes sense.
Coming back to where we first started,
traveling,
Albania, blah blah blah.
Yep.
Like people being afraid of the other, and traveling people who are super scary.
So scary how they like just live wherever they want.
Yeah,
and move from place to place.
Oh my gosh!
Wow,
so scary.
So scary.
Yeah, so they're coming from northern Africa, and they're bringing in African animals.
They're not bringing their best people. They're bringing some bad hombres.
Oh, I just had a horrible.
Oh man, I like got sick to my stomach when I saw that. I'm like, why does this make me feel so gross?
Except I'm still going to go back to the fact that I am very happy at seeing these latest photographs
so good
in the news and all of the happy news. God bless America. That's all I can say.
The justice system.
Yeah, which is what I would absolutely never, ever, ever say unless they're prosecuting Donald Trump.
That's right.
Yeah. And he gets convicted and goes to jail forever. One can only hope.
Yeah.
Don't dash my hopes and dreams, American justice system, like you do on a
daily basis.
I hate people. Me too. In any case, okay, so we think that the second best theory is that the Romani people were bringing in the animals from Africa. So nobody had ever seen a lion before.
Okay.
They think that the circus had brought in a lion into France. There were a few circuses that were happening around the area at the time as well. And so the idea is that a lion got loose, or a hyena, which makes sense because it looks kind of similar to a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what was going on. That's the second theory. Like that theory, doesn't explain the clothes.
Doesn't explain the clothes. You're right. Unless the handler of the lion also is on a rampage.
Really? Yeah, it really was.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I know.
Okay, I was being dumb, but
no,
all right.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, so that's part of the theory. I don't know how you would explain that, but I think part of it is that
this working together,
the lion and the tamer, for evil
purposes. So they're really mad about Protestantism.
We hate the Catholic Church. Yeah. But the idea is that this tamer is going around and trying to track down this lion, sees these, kills, and then I guess takes people's clothes off. Logically.
Why wouldn't you?
Logically speaking.
Makes so much sense.
Yeah. So that's the other theory. And then the third theory is obviously that it was a werewolf.
Yeah.
Most logical theory.
Yeah.
Always the werewolves. So anyway, yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Yeah, because we talked about it being women's fault. It's the horrors, definitely the horrors.
Definitely.
Yep. Obey the church or get eaten by the beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah.
normal.
So there you go. I'm gonna put this here PowerPoint up for y'all 3 people that listen to us, and we'll
thank you.
Yeah. So last bits, I tried to listen to some podcasts on werewolves on my way down. Obviously, we're in the same location, which we are usually. We're not going to stay where we are.
No.
Nobody
We're
knows.
in a secure location.
We're in a very...
That's all I can say.
Yep. So I listened to this one podcast, and it was literally this Jersey woman who just went on for an entire hour about her trauma dealing with werewolves because her brother dressed up as a werewolf as a kid. And so she spent an entire hour. And my favorite, so I don't even know if I can do a Jersey accent. I'm going to butcher it.
I can't wait for this.
But she goes, no, oh no, that was Australian.
It was the warm-up, and you couldn't even get past the warm-up.
I can't, but I think if I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. But she is this elderly woman. She's 70 years old, and she's talking about the fact that she lives out in the woods, and there's this beast in the woods.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I can't. I can't believe it.
And he is so big. And he hops oh shit.
I don't know where you're from. You're a child of the earth at this point.
I know. I had it down, and then I think I just lost it because I automatically switched to an Australian accent. It's the one I know best. You know? Like, I lived in New Zealand, and that's just where I go.
Mine always turns into like a weird pirate or like someone from the Baltic region.
I like it. I'll have to hear your embarrassing.
I'm not gonna try New Jersey.
No, don't do New Jersey. But my favorite thing that she said during the whole thing was she acts like we don't know that she's a smoker when her voice is like, I know you can't tell. I smoke. Every single night. Yeah. And the next one that I listened to right after that was a Texan guy who was like in charge. He was a werewolf hunter.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And obviously killed a bunch of werewolves.
Yes.
So they still exist. He did say that there was a werewolf encounter in Wisconsin, of course, in the fields of Wisconsin. And that is the last werewolf.
When was this?
This was back in the 1990s.
Okay, so we've been good since the 90s?
Yeah, we're fine.
That's a long time. I was going to say, he got them all.
Well,
They're dead.
We're fine.
They're dead.
No more werewolves. Werewolves.
No more werewolves. Sorry. No more werewolves.
Swearwolves, we're werewolves, not swearwolves.
No,
that's correct. So anyway, yeah, I think that pretty much covers werewolves. Yeah. Someday I'm gonna get my Jersey accent down. My 70-year-old smoker.
I'm a smoker. I'm a smoker from New Jersey. Beast of Jersey. Anyway, you can't see this on the podcast, everyone.
Yeah.
But
that is a beautiful tattoo.
It's fake. Mm-hmm. But it's a wolf. And the guy at the gas station wanted to compliment my fresh ink. And I was like,
I wanted to compliment your fresh ink.
I know, it's pretty dope.
You walked in here.
Pretty dope.
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Yep.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So, yeet,
skirt.